Hi, welcome. I'm Lisa Natoli. Thank you so much for being here. This is the 40-day program, and we are in the 3 days of getting ready and preparation, and this is day 2. So we haven't even started the 40-day. We're just getting ready to go on a trip, and we're preparing. So what I want to talk to you today about is declaration cards and the power of your word, and all thoughts have power. And I'm going to recap on the 3 things that I've asked for you to prepare for this journey that you're about to take. So the first one is decluttering. And we're going to spend the first part of the 40 days, like maybe the first 10 days, once we get started on day 1, of really decluttering what's in your mind. And you'll see, it's going to be amazing to you when you start to see that these thoughts have been controlling your life. They've just been running the show, and we're going to be letting them go. We're going to be allowing all our grievances to come up, to look at fear, and to release as much as you're willing to let go of. We're going to use forgiveness. And what I'm asking here in the preparation phase, these 3 days, is decluttering your space. Just getting ready like you're going on a trip. I was saying yesterday that Bill and I travel a lot, and we always get ready. You know, before we go on a trip, I often have to go shopping, buy more clothes, buy food for the plane. And then when we actually are getting ready to go, we clean our space. We put everything away. We throw away a lot of stuff. And the 40-day program it's a great experiment, really. It's an experiment where you're allowing everything to be exactly as it is. You're not trying to accomplish anything. You're not trying to do anything. You're not striving. You're not planning. You're not making resolutions. You're really allowing yourself to stand still like Jesus did when he was in the 40 days in the desert, in the wilderness, and allowing yourself to be tempted. You're allowing yourself to have all of the things that you push down, all your fear, your negative emotions, to come into your awareness so that you can look at them. And you're releasing them. And so it's a whole new program, really. And you're leaving your old life. And that's what I said yesterday. And you're not coming back. So I want you to look around your physical space, in your closets, in your refrigerator, in your home, and just see what's not going to be in the new space, what's no longer serving, and just get rid of it. And I also ask that you buy a journal. I've got all my little toys over here. So just to buy a journal, because there might be things that you hear in this program, in the videos, in the messages, and it can be very helpful to just write them down so you can remember them. And once we get going, I'm going to describe a practice of listening to your inner teacher, your inner guide. And the journal can be a very helpful tool to allow this communication to come through you, and just put it down on the page. So buy a journal, decluttering, and the 2 other things are the declaration card, which I'm going to talk about today, and the commitment letter. So all of these things are downloadable on the website. You can look at them all now. I just want to describe in detail the declaration card, and tomorrow I'm going to talk about the commitment letter. So you can look at what it says now, but I'm not going to talk about it today. And finally, the agreement to end addiction, totally optional, but if you want to let go of something, that's also downloadable. You can watch the little video that I talked about letting go of my own alcoholism and cigarette smoking, and you just sign it. You just make an agreement that for 40 days you are not going to engage in whatever self-defeating behavior you know is no longer serving you. So I know it seems like a lot here in the beginning, and I really want to keep it simple, but I know that these tools are very powerful, and I wanted to just just briefly mention why I stopped being a coach. I mentioned it yesterday, and I started this 40-day program in 2010. I was doing private coaching. I was doing 1-hour Skype phone calls once a week with individuals. And I just was getting this very strong call that I didn't want people depending on me. I wanted them to depend on their own inner teacher and to depend on God. And I killed the program. I just knew, like, this is not for me anymore. And so what I do now is I see myself as a temporary guide. I see myself as a teacher, and I'm here just leading you to your inner teacher, where you receive your own instruction, your own direction, your own answers, because no one could possibly know what you need, but you have a teacher who knows everything. And that's what this 40-day program is about, that you're going to develop a relationship with this presence and this power. And you will have a direct experience. So I want to talk about the declaration card. And I have 2 cards here. And I'm just going to describe what this is. So when I did my own 40-day experiment to begin with, I knew I had to shift from a certain way of being that I had considered normal to me into a whole new way of being. And I had been waiting for change to come. I kept waiting for my relationships to change and to have more money and for my body to be different. And then I thought then I would be different, and not much was changing in my life. Well, finally I just made this decision. For 40 days I am going to be the change. This is the 40-day program. And so today what you're going to be looking at, and I want to ask you to write this down, to spend some quiet time and really think about this practice. I have put these 2 things that I'm going to ask you to do as PDFs on the website, but you can just get a piece of paper and just do it yourself. So declarations. Jesus talks in A Course in Miracles about declaration of release and declaration of independence. And you're always declaring things at all times. If you watch yourself for a day, you are declaring things about yourself all day. I'm not good enough, I'm tired, I'm sad, I'm lonely, I'm happy. We're constantly declaring all day long, but we don't notice it. So for the 40 days, you're going to be paying very close attention. This is part of the commitment you're going to be making. You're going to be paying very close attention to the thoughts that you're having, the words that you're using, the stories that you're telling. You're going to start to notice the voice in your head, and there's actually 2 voices. You're going to be able to distinguish between the 2 of them. And what I want you to do is I want you on one of those pieces of paper or on a card to think about your false way of being. This is your current way of being. It's what I call your old way of being, because we're going to shift into a true way of being. And these are your declarations. So I want you to think about what you declare about yourself now. So I'm just going to read what I wrote down. These are some of the things that were my old way of being, the things that I used to do. Complaining, procrastinate, weak, afraid, full of doubt, playing small, hiding, guilty all the time, never doing enough, never good enough, wishing my life was different, unlovable, wishing, wondering, waiting. These were 3 big ones for me. Lazy, distracted, always criticizing my body, striving to make things happen, efforting. I had a belief that things are hard and difficult, full of shame, judgmental. I mean, this, and I read it now, I can't believe it, but this was how I lived my life. And these things were normal to me. I was always struggling with money. I had a belief that I have to work hard or nothing happens. I had no money. I was in debt. I was sick. I had a feeling that I'm alone. There was always fear. And I was always saying, I'm so busy, I have no time. Sounds fun, right? But this is how I live my life. This was my false way of being. This isn't my true way of being. And you're never going to get out of this way of being. You're just not going to get out of it until you make a shift. You make a decision, I'm done with this. I'm done with conflict. I'm done with judging myself. I'm done with this way of being. I'm done. And you don't have to know how to not be this. You just make a decision. This is not who I am anymore. And now what you're going to do is you're going to just go into the quiet space and say, okay, my true way of being, my new way of being. This is the self that you are spirit. This is your true self. And I want you to just think about it. If you've ever seen a person who's passed away and the body's lying there, you know that that's not the person you love. There's no life in it anymore. The spirit's gone. The person that had all of those qualities is gone, not there. And the body just gets colder by the minute. And then they take it away. So that's not what you are. You're not your body. So I want you to think about what you really are. And you are spirit. You are whole. You are perfect. Your spirit cannot get sick. The life of you, the aliveness of you cannot get tired. And yet you seem to get tired, but that's not what you are. So what we're going to do for 40 days is, here at the beginning, you are going to declare the truth of what you are. And then every day, it's just going to be a commitment for you to live in this space, to live in love. So my true way of being is I'm a child of God. And I got myself out of complete financial lack with that one saying, I'm a child of God, God is my source. I have everything. I just decided, okay, for 40 days I'm going to play a game. I'm going to play a game and I'm going to just be as I am. Whole and perfect. I'm not my stories, I'm not my body. And for 40 days, I'm going to live in this way. And what happens, like I said yesterday, is when you start to shift so dramatically in this way, everything that you buried, Bill calls it hidden in the vault, comes up now. It's like energy's moving, and all of a sudden, all sorts of crap is in front of you. All your fear, all your anger, it's like you're even more mad than ever. And this is why for 40 days, I want you to think of Jesus standing still. Just standing still. Draw a circle of light around you and say, okay, I'm allowing everything to come forth now, and I'm not running away. I just want to be out of the fear now. And I want to do it fast. And I'm going to give everything to this 40-day program. I'm going to give this as a gift to myself. So my true new way of being is I'm a child of God. I am loved, lovable, cared for, protected, safe, powerful, strong, certain, and unlimited. And in A Course in Miracles, there's a lesson 91 that gives a practice for this. It says, I'm not weak but strong. I am not powerless but powerful. I am not full of doubt but certain. I am unlimited. And so what we're doing is we're declaring the truth about ourselves. And what Jesus, who is the author of A Course in Miracles, says is, let us declare the truth as often as we can. And what this is going to require of you is to not use your body's eyes for 40 days. Just keep affirming the truth and declaring it. I am spirit. The peace of God is shining in me now. That is the truth. The peace of God is shining in you now. Even if you don't see it or you don't feel it, it is. It's shining in you. It's a light. And the quantum science guys are already proving this. They're already proving that you're just energy moving around, and you hold yourself together by the thoughts you continually think over and over. So the love of God surrounds me. I am radiant, vibrant, complete and healed and whole. Everything is easy. And that was a real shift for me, because before my thought was everything is difficult. But now everything's easy, and that is my reality now. That's my experience. Things come to me with no effort. I'm relaxed and at peace. I love life. I love God. I love myself. I love everyone. Love is all there is. I am active, joyful, playful, creative, passionate, enthusiastic, one with Christ, one with God. So what I ask you to do today, in addition to just keep decluttering, just keep cleaning your space, because you are going on a trip and we're never coming back. And I want you to feel that. I want you to feel that you're heading into a new life. And then I ask you to take time today and think about what your false self is like. And if you don't know, just pay attention today to your thoughts. Just pay attention to the things you're saying. Put it down on paper. And then think about your true self. And I've put in some examples on the website that come from A Course in Miracles, just to kind of spark your memory of what you really are. And like always, I want you to have fun with this. I want you to treat this 40 days like a game that you're playing. And it does require trust. This is completely unknown territory, and I know that. And you will begin to feel different. You will begin to see different, and I'm excited for that. And healing is certain, and I love you. Thank you.